I guess just to quickly mention, we have a POAP for today's session. So we'll be distributing it during the call. And amazing, Candy just told me that we are live on YouTube and Twitter. So whenever you're ready, Kenny, we can get started.
Sounds good. Let me quickly share my screen.
Awesome.
Is it coming through?
It is for me, but also everyone in the audience, if you can please let us know if the screen share is coming through for you. Amazing. Thanks everyone so much. Looks like we're good to go.
I can't see Discord anymore because I'm using Keynote, and it does this thing where if you share your screen on Keynote, you don't see anything else. So let me know what the audience are saying. Are they seeing the screen? Let me know when to proceed.
Will do. The screen share is coming through, and I guess we can mention too that if anyone has any questions, you can write it in the chat and I will let Kenny know. But yeah, looks like
All right.
everyone can see the screen. So we should be good to go.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to this week's DevRel Office Hours. Today, I want to talk about access control on the web with Collab.Land, which is something that we've talked about a little bit in the past and something that we continue to talk about, right? Because it's one of the really cool features that we offer here at Collab.Land that allows you to do all the amazing token gating things that we do on Discord and Telegram on the web, right? And this is something that I talked about in a conference that I was at a couple weeks ago. And I figured it should also make it to the Collab.Land DevRel office hours because we want you to know and have all right information about all the products and services that we're working on. So let me give a brief overview of today's agenda. We want to look at the overview of token gating, and then we'll look at some of the benefits. Why should you do it? Why should you care about it? Uh, and then we will look at how you can design user-friendly token gating systems. What makes a token gating system user-friendly in the first place? We'll talk through all of that. And then we will talk about some popular use cases. I'll share how some companies are currently using this functionality, even outside of Collabland, right? People are using it in different ways that I think are very exciting. And I'll share all of those ways today. So let's start with the first one, right? The big old question: what is token gating? It's a way of conditionally granting access to holders of a specific blockchain asset, right? And this asset could be your NFT, could be a fungible token. We will talk about all of that. But the whole gist of it is the fact that it's a way to say, oh, you can get access to this thing that I have on the web if you hold a particular asset. And it's the same way that people currently get access to exclusive Discord servers, exclusive Telegram groups. Um, you connect your wallet, you go through that flow, you authenticate. We see that you've got the asset that is being requested, and you get access to that community, right? But we want to see how we do that within the context of a website or a web application as opposed to inside of Discord. All right, so let's look at how it works. There are three major components to making token gating work on the web. The first is the token gating rules. If you're a community admin, you're probably used to that. But if you're a developer, which I would guess most of the audience who are going to be watching this talk or who are currently watching it live are developers. So token gating rules is really just an object that specifies the properties that are going to be required for to the properties are going to be required to identify the asset that you're getting your site with, right? And I will show you what the structure looks like just in a bit, but I want to talk through it first and give you kind of like a theoretical mental picture of what the rule is doing in this part of the process. And then there's wallet connection, right? That's the second piece, right? You need to ask the user to connect their wallet because that is where you want to see if the assets you're asking them for exists on that wallet. And when you've got the token getting rule and you've got the wallet, then you can make an API call to Collab.Land to say, hey, I'm giving you this wallet address and I'm giving you this token getting rule. I want you to check if the rule that if the token I've specified in this rule exists on this wallet, right? So those are the three pieces that come together to power the functionality that we use to gate websites.
Sorry, Kenny,
Now,
real quick. Sorry. I'm not sure. Candy is asking if you are changing the slides because we can only see the first slide right now. It's
oh
not
my
showing
God.
the yeah, the next ones. And thank you, Candy, for
Oh,
the
that sucks.
question.
I think I'm just, is it okay if I present like this?
Yeah, that's coming
Yeah, I
through
think it's
as well
probably
for
better.
me.
Yeah, let me keep it like this. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not sure what happens with Keynote. If I present, it becomes weird.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I talked through the agendas, the benefits, designing user friendly token gating systems. We talked about what is token gating, how it works, which is you define your token gating rules, you connect your wallet, and then you make an API call. And this is where I was when you called me. So thank you for doing that. So these are the kind of tokens you can get with, right? You can get with fungible tokens, you can get with non-fungible tokens, you can get with all of these different types of token types, as you will see as we continue to proceed. Um, you can also get with non-fungible tokens, right? NFTs. And the reason why this is the most popular use case, all right, or at least in my experience, this is the one that I've seen a lot of people use, is because it's very unique, right? And it allows you to get with other like metadata information about the NFT. So it's not you can go in more detail, and this is something I'll still talk about a little bit more in the subsequent slides. You can go in a little bit more detail and ask, okay, what are the traits of the NFT? The NFT has to be XYZ thing. It has to have this amount. It has to have this color. It has to have this background. And so it gives you the opportunity to go into more granular detail to make sure that you're asking for the specific NFT. I'm going to go off on a limb and try to present this thing again because I have some things I want to share on the transitions. Um, Chibi, let me know if this is changing for you.
Hmm.
On? No?
We can see the slide that says every NFT is one of a kind. And then it
All
changed to
right.
story time. Oh, story time. I love story time.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's story time, everyone. Let's tell a story. So the story is about two people, Jane and Jude. And I'll start with Jude, right? Jude is a developer on the React team. He is tasked with building an event site where all the actually let me skip that. He's tasked with building an event site where all the holders of the React NFT we get 90% discount on conference tickets. Right. So um think about that for a bit. You have a company, your company is having a conference, and you want people who have your company's NFT to get 90% discount on the conference tickets, right? So that is Jude's task. Um, he built the website, he implemented token getting functionalities with Collab.Land, and he did his job. So now the second persona is Jane, who is a member of the React community or the community that you work for. She has since purchased the React NFT and has been an active member in the community. So it's time for the conference, and Jane wants to buy a ticket for her conference. So she goes onto the event site to buy her ticket. She's asked to connect her wallet. The NFT that is required for her to get a 90% discount is found on her wallet because she's had that NFT for a while, and she gets 90% discount. And this is Jane having some fun. And unfortunately, the GIF is not playing, so it's not so fun now. Anyhow, the question we all want to to know the answer to is, how did you do that? How did you build that kind of functionality that allows people to connect their wallets and get discounts just because they have your NFT or they have any token that you've specified? So let's dive into it, right? Like I said, there are three components. The first is the token gating rules. They are really just the schemas that describe the required tokens. It's a way for you to say, oh, the token that I want to gate my website with is, it should be on the Ethereum mainnet. You should have a minimum token or a maximum token of 1 or 2. You should have, this is the contract address of the token, uh, any other metadata you want to specify. And let me show you a structure of what that looks like. So this is a rules array that has an object, and inside of the object, you get the opportunity to specify the type of the token, the chain ID of the token, which is like, what chain is this token on? If it's Ethereum mainnet, then the chain ID will be 1. If it's Polygon, it will be 137. There's a lot of different chains and a lot of different IDs. Then you also get to specify how much of this token should a user have before they get access to your site or to the web app that you're gating. So you set the value in the mean token, and then you specify the contract address of the token. Every NFT or every token, every asset you have on the blockchain will have an address that you can point to identify that token. So you specify that address as well. And lastly, you specify the role ID, right? So what role should this token give people access to when they have it, right? So it could be a beginner role, it could be mentees, it could be whatever you call it, right? And you can have a couple more token gating rules. Like, you're not restricted to one. You can say, hey, you need to have this or that or that. You can specify as much options as you want to give your users the ability to have some variety or some options on what tokens they need to have to get access to your site. That's the first part, right? The second part is the user's wallet address part. If you don't have and I have, this is the part where we talk a little bit more about user-friendly token gating systems, and we will dive into that in a bit. But the second key component is, you want to make sure that you're collecting the user's wallet address the right way, because you have to get the two components, the address and the token gating rules, before you get to the third step, which is making the API call to Collab.Land. And why you need to get those two initial things is because the API call to Collab.Land is going to require them. And if you look at the next slide, this is a sample of what the API call is supposed to look like, right? So here you're making a fetch call to the Collab.Land check rules endpoint, and you're providing the user's wallet address and the rules that Collab.Land should check the wallet against. And that is why it's really important that you figure out that first two steps before the third one, because that would determine the response that Collab.Land would give you. All right. So when you've done that, you would get a response from Collab.Land. You get a response that says, "Hey, if the wallet address you provided has the token that you specified in your TGR, then granted is true, which means they can get access to the content, right? But if they do not have that NFT or that asset, then the granted is false. This is the response that Collab.Land will give you. And then you know, hey, this person does not have the NFT that I'm asking for, so they do not get to see my site. So this is how it works in theory. This is typically how companies and other individuals are currently using TGRs on the web. And I want to talk through some of the benefits, like some of the things that I think that makes it cool. Why are people interested in this? Why are people doing it? One of the first ways that I can think of is it's a very good way to monetize content, right? And I'm going to give you like a lot of examples later on in the slide on how people are using this to monetize their content in very creative and innovative ways. But it offers you a way to go out of the status quo and just do something that's a little different and offer content in a lot of different ways. If you had a resource like a blog post, for instance, and you think you've created something really amazing that's going to be helpful to people, then instead of just publishing that on dev.co or publishing that on your Miro board, you can ask people, hey, if you want to read this blog post that I wrote, you get my NFT, or you get this NFT, or you get this token, and that would give you access. And that token could be priced what, $1 or however much you want. And people, that would be like a different way of monetizing your content. The second one is offers granular control of access to information. And this is what I was talking about before when I talked about how NFTs make it very easy for people to kind of like dive deep into the metadata information of an NFT to use that information, because you want to be sure that only the people who have the right access get access to the information that you're getting. And it also offers a way to reward engagement, right? So imagine that we wanted to um, look at, okay, who are the people who have been very active and participating in the Collab.Land community this week, right? We can say, oh, I have a swag store, a Collab.Land swag store. And the only way that you are able to claim some of the swag there is if you have POAPs that were issued this week based off of your engagement. Maybe you've been answering questions, you've been talking, you've been helping out people, you've been answering other people's questions, and we've been issuing you POAPs as a result of that. And then with that POAP, you can go to the Collab.Land swag store, and then you can get yourself a shirt or a socks or a sticker. So it's a way to reward engagement in a very meaningful way. And it helps create exclusivity within a website. And this is something that we see in places like Reddit, where conversations can be a little secret, and some subreddits and subthreads can be hidden. And this is a way for you to say, hey, if you want to be part of this subreddit, or if you want to be part of this conversation, you need to have XYZ thing. And the last one is it creates scarcity, right? And this is something that I find very interesting, because the other time I was asking someone, why do people really care about branded items? Like, why do people buy designer bags, Gucci brands, and all these Ferraris, and all those luxury brands? It's because it's scarce, and not everyone can afford it, right? It's not necessarily that the quality is better than everything else. It's just the scarcity that it creates. So this TGR on the web also helps you do that, right? Because people will be interested in, okay, what is hidden in that website that I need to get an NFT to see? And then they would go and get it just to see it. So it's also one of the benefits. Like, people are really interested in you and what you're trying to get access to. And that could be a driving factor for them to want to say, you know what, I want to see what is hidden there. So that's some of the cool benefits that I think are making a lot of people start to use this. And I want to talk through about some of those, right? Like the ones that I've been able to see and find out how people are using this token getting functionalities on the web. The first one is Audius. Audius is a streaming platform, kind of like Spotify or Apple Music. What they do is that they allow their artists to conditionally grant music access to fans who own a specific NFT. So if I was a musician and I released an album and I want to list it on Audius, I can also create an NFT that allows people who have that NFT to stream my music for free, and they don't have to pay. So all they need to do is get access to that NFT. And this is a company that is like in production, that is working, and there are a lot of artists on there. So you can check them out if you and see if you can find some of your favorite musicians. They might be there. Another one, which is an interesting example, is Shopify allows retailers to get access to limited edition products to only their NFT holders. So they had this partnership with Doodle's NFT, where they went to a conference, they had an event, and they were selling tickets and entrance into the event only to people that had the Doodle's NFTs. So this is something that is happening globally, and a lot of companies are starting to adopt. And I wanted to put that out there just in case you're having some questions or some doubts around how people are using this. So these are like some popular use cases that I've seen. Another one is VCon, which is a popular conference. They sell their tickets only to their NFT holders. So if you're interested and you want to participate, you want to go to the conference, you want to listen to their talks, or you want to partake in any way, the first thing they ask you for is to log in and connect your wallet and see if you have the NFT that they are getting with. All right. So the one that I find the most interesting is this one, and someone kind of like brought this to my idea. I didn't know about it before. There's this band called Kings of Leon that released their album art as an NFT, so that fans can purchase them for access to exclusive resources. You know, if you purchase the album art that they made as an NFT, you get access to their stage plays, you can listen to their music for free, they give a couple loads of different special perks to people who have that NFT, and they made $2 million on NFT sales alone. You know, like just people getting their NFT, really, like they didn't even sell the music or go on tours for it. They made all that money um, just because they did token getting on their site. So these are some of the popular use cases. I think one more that I didn't put here is Success Finder, that is creating this token gated community experience on the web, similar to how Discord is, but on the web, right? So what they're doing as well is making sure that creators on their site are able to get access to their communities with tokens and NFTs and different kind of assets to make sure that the right people get access to the right resources. All right. Now that we know all about those people, let's talk about how you can create your own user-friendly token gated systems. I have a couple of ideas. The first one is you want to show your users the required token. Right. So because it doesn't make any sense if you create a token gated website and people try to get access and they don't know what they need to have access. So you need to show them, oh, if you want to get access, this is the token that is required. And you want to provide clear instructions on how to get that token, right? So it's one thing to say, hey, this is what you need. It's another thing to say, oh, hey, this is how to get it if you don't have it. So you want to make sure that if you're going to build your token gated website, you're providing the right information about your required assets and how people can get access to them. Then, when people come to your website, you want to be sure that you're supporting multiple wallet providers, right? I think a lot of people default to MetaMask when they are trying to ask you to connect your wallet. But there are also other wallet providers like, you know, Wallet Connect, Formatic, Coinbase Wallet, and so on and so forth. And the idea is a lot of the times you build with the assumption that your user is using a particular tool, but they're not, and then you lose out on that user being getting access to your content because you did not put the enough infrastructure in place to allow them to connect the wallets from where they have it. So support multiple wallets. And lastly, and I think this is probably the most important, prioritize the user's action. You know, for instance, don't try to automatically connect to their wallet. It seems intuitive. It seems like the best way to do it is if someone comes to your site, you want to just go behind the scenes, connect to their wallet, and if they have the resources, then they just get access. They don't have to go through the whole process of connecting wallets, signing a message, or anything like that. But it's not up to you. So that decision solely should rest on the user. They should decide if they want to connect their wallet because they have their assets inside of their wallet. So if you try to do that, they might disconnect their wallet and never trust your site again. So I wanted to show a demo that I did a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just going to play this and show you how this works in practice. So this is a site that I built for demo purposes. You connect your wallet, that's it. And then now you see all of these other buttons that you can click. Because I have the right resources, I can see the mentees, I can see the friends, because I have the NFTs that allows me to do that. But I can't see the fans though, because that would require a different NFT because I do not have that NFT on my wallet. So what I would do is switch this to a different wallet. I'll connect a different wallet to this site. And I'll try the process again because now I have a different wallet connected, not the previous one. I no longer have access to mentees, no longer have access to friends, still don't have access to funds. and still don't have access to colleagues. So this is just a way to show you that you can have different functionalities for different wallet addresses. The first one I had access because I had the NFT that allowed me to view all of those different pages. But now with the second wallet that I connected, it doesn't have any NFTs at all. So I don't see anything. Um, so that's for how you do this. If you have any questions, please put that on the chat. Otherwise, you can ask me questions outside of Discord. I've heard people ask me this question a couple of times, so I try to put this QR code on the site. If I'm in Dubai, so my time zone's a little bit tricky. So if you're trying to reach me and I'm not online, Twitter is also a good place to send me a DM, and I will answer you. So thank you very much for listening. I don't know if there are any questions. I can answer them now. Otherwise, I'll stop sharing my screen.
No, thank you, Kenny. I see someone typing in the chat, so that may be a question. Let's give it a minute. And I also see Cryptopic asking if there's any POAP available. And yes, we have a POAP for today's session. Let's see if
Yay!
there's.
There's always prep.
Indeed. Let's see if there's any questions first, and then we can distribute the POAP. Let's see. All right, we have a question from Farmagata. If, say, the gate is token and the individual sold some tokens below requirements, how often does the API check that?
Yeah, we have a background check that runs every 24 hours. So if you've gated access to something, it's just the same way that it works on Discord. And that person has the token for a while, and then they sold it or they lose the token for whatever reason. Then the next background check period, which happens every 24 hours, is going to kick them out of your resource or out of your community because they no longer have access to it. So that's actually a very good question. So the cadence is 24 hours.
Amazing, thank you. Let's see. Oh, we also have a comment. It's not a question, but a comment saying, thank you, Kenny. I'm not very technical and I actually understood. That's amazing. I do want to say that you do an incredible job, Kenny, at going through these topics and explaining them. And I feel the exact same way. Like, I'm not very technical, and I say this often during town halls.
Is it possible for
But
people to change the time of the check?
hmm,
Let's say I don't want to wait 24 hours for the regular check. Yeah, you can't change, you can make it lower than that. And you can make it lower than that because then it's running on Collab.Land's network, and we check like all the communities that currently exist on Collab.Land, just like 50,000 of them. So every 24 hours, we have to do that check to make sure that we are keeping all the right accesses and all the right info on the right people inside the right communities. So you can make it any lower because then it will put a lot more load on Collab.Land servers. Like we have to check because it's just not one community. So I hope that clarifies it. So we have a standard 24 hours time frame to do a run to do a background check. Yes, I was going to mention that. Mhm. So we have a pro bot coming out that, yeah, I don't know if I don't want to promise something that I'm not sure would happen, but I think that could be one of the features that comes with the pro bot. So if you're using the Collab.Land pro bot, maybe you get access to configure your own background checks. I think that would actually be a very good offering for that. Yeah, a different purpose, but I get your point. Yeah. So if when yeah, I don't know when that's going to launch. I'm trying to hold back myself so much from saying things that I'm not very sure of. So yeah, Candy mentioned this in the chat as well. So it could be available in a pro bot, because that's a bot that you're going to be paying for. And if you're paying for it, maybe you get the option to say, hey, I want to run background check every 12 hours instead of 24, right? So but yeah, I'm not saying for a fact that that will happen, but that is a possibility.
That's great. Does anyone else have any other questions? If so, please write them in the chat, or you can raise your hand too and we can bring you up in the stage as you prefer.
Let's go, let's do it. Pull up time.
Is it blow up time?
Hey, I see.
Let's
Let's go in
go.
the chat.
All right. So, yeah, I guess in the meantime, if you guys have any other questions, again, please write them in the chat. But in the meantime, let's distribute the POAP for today's DevRel office hours. So, in order to claim the POAP, we'll be using the POAP mini app, of course. And you'll have to type in the chat /POAP claim. It's a slash command. You can write it in the state chat if that's what you have open right now. Again, /POAP claim. And the secret claim phrase is token gating, all lowercase and with no spaces in between. Again, that's token gating. Once that you write that down, you can hit enter and you'll receive a code to claim your POAP. Please let us know in the chats if it's working for you. Otherwise, we can try to troubleshoot to help you claim your POAP. I just got my code and I'm in the process of claiming. How about you, Kenny?
It's working for me. Mine is minting.
Amazing. Mine is still loading. Let's see. Enter code. Awesome. Okay, I see if you're not asking again. The secret phrase is token gating. TOKENGATING. Token gating with no spaces in between.
Yeah, and one day we're going to build a swag store, kind of like the one that I talked about, where we give out some DevRel swags to people who are attending the DevRel office hours. So keep your POAPs handy, because we're going to token gate that site with some of these POAPs. So if you have a POAP from DevRel office hours, then you get a swag, or you get something else that is fun.
That's exactly what I was thinking too, Ayotunde. Lots of alpha during this call, which I love.
Anyone who wants a Collab.Land swag, anyway, anyone interested in having something like that, let me know in the chat. Maybe we can work out something that we can share during the DevRel office hours. I think it would
Yeah.
be interesting too.
Mhm.
Okay, Ayotunde is really all for it.
That's a great idea.
Plushie, well, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. I made myself a DevRel swag, a Collab.Land swag as well. Um, I did that. I think that was last week, and it's taken 3 weeks to get to me.
Oh.
But yeah, I think probably in the next DevRel office hours I'll wear it, so that you guys can see it looks very good.
I would love to see it. Yes, please. Looking forward to that.
Sure. Okay. I'll wear it. I'll wear it the next time. Then my video will be on. Everyone can see.
I will
It's a very
remind you.
nice design. I picked it out myself, so it's nice.
Mhm.
Claim your power up. Claim your power up. If you want to swag in the future, you would need to have your power up.
Do it.
Yeah. All
Oh, I
right.
see
I
someone.
think that's it, Chibi. Is there anything else we haven't covered?
I think that we are good to wrap things up, but before we do that, I see group topic saying, I don't know why my BOAP is not getting claimed. Are you getting any error messages or anything, or is it just taking a while to be claimed? You can let us know and we'll try our best to help you out. Again, just in
Yeah, and
case. Mhm. No, please go ahead.
yeah, and if you're not able to claim it while we're here, even if the meeting ends, you can still claim it. And if you have any problems, use the general chat or the dev general chat, and we'll just help you troubleshoot.
Yes, thanks for that, Kenny. I'll repeat the secret word one last time just in case that's what's going on. So, again, the secret phrase to claim the POAP is token gating, all lowercase and with no spaces in between. If it still fails, as Kenny mentioned, you can let us know in the general chat or in the dev general, and we will gladly assist you. Yep, having said that, I think that we are good to wrap things up. Thank you so much, Kenny. This was a fantastic session, as always, honestly.
Thank you very much. I will see you all next time.
Sounds great. And thanks everyone in the
The token
audience.
gating in the chat, you need a G at the end of it.
Yep, that looks
Yeah,
like.
you need it. Yeah, you need a
Mhm.
G. So gating. All right. Bye, everyone. And I will see you all next time.
Bye, everyone.